Hello, sunshines. Welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as Bunnyfish all over the internet. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, and I am about to do one of my favorite summer activities, which is go on a date with one of my kiddos. So my kiddos are teenagers. And when they were little, we did all of the summer things, all of them. We went to the park, like our weekly, like at least once a week. We went to the park, we went to the beach, we went to the library every week. But they're teenagers now, and they don't always want to do things with me. I'm sorry about the train. I didn't even realize it was being loud in the background, and I just actually heard it. But there's a lot of trains around me, so it's gonna happen. Anyway, my littlest asked me to put a book on hold for her at the library, and it came in, which is good timing because I had two books. I have two books on hold too from the library. So I finagled it into a date because could I have just picked up the books? Sure. But we're going to go get some Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. And then we're going to take a 10-minute walk, as is on both of our to-do lists. I'll put in a picture of the to-do list here. I talked about it in the last vlog a little bit, but we're going to take a 10-minute walk. Then we are going to read and write at the library. So, I don't know. It's just, get us out of the house, do something. We haven't gone to the beach yet this summer because it's been very rainy this week. It's the first week of summer break. It's been very rainy, and it's been not chilly in real life, but chilly for the beach. It's only been low 70s all week, which is a little bit chilly for my youngest to go swimming. I don't go swimming, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm so excited. I love going on dates with my kids. Just getting to spend time with them outside of our house. It's gonna be good. Hello, sunshines. It's Thursday morning. It's the 18th. Lux and I just got back from a walk, so I'm a little warm. But I have exciting things to tell you about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I realized I only had 100 pages left in the Grand Paloma Resort, which is not... It is a lot of pages for me. But if I'm making an effort to read, then it's not that much. So I started reading it, and I picked up my aunt's wrap as the focus project, and look at this. I don't have very much to go. So I'm hanging out with Luxable, so she's not alone. So you're not lonely. She's not a lonely girl. She's not. Look at you. You're perfect, huh? Yeah. And we're going to queue up a vlog, and if there's not a vlog to watch, we're going to listen to an audiobook, and I'm gonna finish this rep this morning. It's very exciting. I do have my next book picked out. I am going to read, I asked Instagram, and Instagram said The Fortunes of Jaded Women. So that's what I'm starting next. Also, I don't think we talked about Barrier Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I also finished. And I enjoyed it so much. The ending was so good. It was everything I wanted. Yeah, it was just really, really good. I liked the story. I liked how you jumped back and forth through time. There's multiple points of view. There's multiple narrators. I really, really liked it. I really recommend the audiobook version because the lady who does the reading does a really nice job changing her voice for the different characters. Very believable accents. Although towards the end, one of the characters like didn't have their accent anymore, kind of, and I was like, like I could see this as plausible, but also I don't like it. So anyway, I liked the book. It was really good. And I'm listening to The Flowers of Essam by Pyra Abba. It's the third book in the Wandering Inn, and I'm liking that too. This one's a shorter one. It's only 37 hours, which compared to the other books in that series is short. I did start another new audiobook in my car. Look at that. I'm almost done with the bind off. And I ran out of yarn. I'm cool with it though. Like, this is where I don't mind losing at Yarn Chicken because I'd rather bind off this tiny section with no mohair high lux. That's very evasive. I would rather bind off this last little bit with no mohair than have mohair left over. So it's almost done. Hey Sunshines, it's Thursday afternoon. Did I talk to you about the Grand Paloma Resort or just like say that I finished it? I can't remember. I'm going to keep it short. This is very potato chippy because there's at least one chapter that's literally just one page, but a lot of the chapters are like 2 to 5 pages. So you can just get in just a little tiny snippet and then take a moment to process what you just read, because there is a lot that goes into this book. So content warnings for drug use, alcohol use, prostitution, possible human trafficking, gun violence, or like guns existing, I guess. Yeah, it's a lot. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. But I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot. And yeah. There's also maybe a bit of like a magical realism thing, although I don't think it's magical realism. There's like a Reiki healer, so depending on if you believe in that or not, I guess it could be magical realism, but it's only for like this much of the book. I do believe in Reiki healing, so I don't feel like it's magical realism, but whatever. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And I finished that, right? And I'm going to start the new book, but I haven't started it yet. But I finished my aunt's wrap this morning. Oh, that's weird that I said aunt. I don't usually say it like that. I usually say aunt. I finished my aunt's wrap this morning. And I decided that I wanted to focus on my next crafty bingo project. So I started something. I have just barely started the Praying Mantis by Jenna Wingate. And I'm excited for this. My niece asked for a praying mantis. I asked the YouTubes if anybody knew of a pattern. My friend Haley chimed in and was like, hey, I found this one. That's about 3-foot mantis, which is what my niece wanted. So it is a 15-page pattern. It is very involved, but like in a really good way. Like there's a lot of details and stuff. And my plan, well, I guess it's only 14 pages because page 1 is the information page, whatever. My plan is for, you know how I've been doing the daily to-do list? I want to do 1/2 of a page each day, at least. I can do more, but like at least doing that 1/2 of a page. Sometimes it's going to be a lot of work. Sometimes it's just going to be sew these things together this way. If I can do it in that way, then it'll take me a month to make this mantis. A little bit less than a month. And that seems like a really reasonable goal and a really reasonable to do. So the pattern layout is in 2 columns. So it's really easy to like meet that goal and know exactly what I need to do in order to meet it. But let's talk about some colors really quick. So the pattern calls for 470 yards of the main color. I do not have that much of this Karen Simply Soft in Pistachio. So once it runs out, I will either pivot to using one of my other yarns or get another skein of it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling when I get there. Because, you know, I'd like to use as much from stash as possible, where possible. And then there's contrast color B, which I think is 30 yards, and C, which is 30 yards. And then color D says a lighter version of color A. And I feel like that matches. So this is that beautiful ice yarns that I got from a friend. And obviously this is not the same weight. So I will be holding this either 3 or 4 strands, whatever I need to do to get to the same-ish weight as these. This yarn is slightly thicker than these two. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm really excited for this mantis. I think it's going to turn out really, really cool. It's very, very detailed. There's a lot of work that goes into making this praying mantis. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching me do it because I think it's going to be really cool. Also, the pattern calls for a size E hook, so that is what I am using. And yeah, let me finish up this 1/2 of a page today. I'm happy with this goal. I think this will work really, really well for break time. Hey, sunshines. I don't think I talked to you yesterday. Today's the 20th. How are you? I'm really tired. Yesterday, for a hot minute, I thought I was like, ooh, I'm like not exhausted. I'm ready. It was a fake out. It was totally a fake out. Had a really productive morning and then just crashed so hard at like 2 p.m. It's fine. It's fine. So let's look at some stuff. So here's my to-do list, and I'm actually feeling really, really good about what I've accomplished. The squares that are blacked in, that means that I finished whatever that was. So I finished reading Grand Paloma Hotel. I finished my aunt's wrap. So that's the day that I finished things on. And so I added a few things down at the bottom. Praying Mantis to go in for my aunt's wrap. Fortunes of Jaded Women to go in for Grand Paloma. And I haven't been successful on reading 50 pages of The Fortunes of Jaded Women. Part of that is that I'm starting the book, and it's pretty rare for me that I get sucked in right off rip on a book. Like, it usually takes me the first 100 pages to really settle in, because just like anything else, I don't like starting things. I have, what is that? Task initiation avoidance. That is a problem I struggle with. Once I'm doing the thing, totally cool. But like, I don't like it. I don't like starting things. But it's the weekend. I'm not reading The Rage of Dragons because that's a weekday only thing. So I'm going to try to get to page 100 in The Fortunes of Jaded Women by the end of day tomorrow. It sounds like I should say today. However, one of my kiddos is going with their dad, not both of them, but one of them is going with their dad for a week. And I was informed yesterday that it is happening today. So I need to drive to the middle of Ohio today, which means I'm going to be in the car for 6 to 7 hours, which is a lot of reading and knitting time that I don't get. It is a good chunk of audiobook time though. So the audiobook that I'm listening to right now, I think it's called Cursed Daughters. I don't know. Audiobooks are harder for me to remember the title because I'm not physically looking. Is it? Yeah, I guess that would be accurate to say it that way. At the book, every time I consume it, I just press play on my car's CD player. So I will get a lot of listening of that in today. And it's only 9 3/4 hours, I think. Something like that. So not a super long book, so I'll probably have to pick up another copy of that. My little and I are going to the library on Tuesday. We're also going to the movies on Tuesday, so Tuesday's going to be a busy day. Today's going to be a busy day. So I need to get as many of my daily to-dos done as I can. It's a little tricky though, because the sun is not coming out. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to cross stitch today, but I have cross stitched all the other days. I'll be able to cross stitch on the canvas. I don't know that I'll be able to cross stitch on the springtime songbird. Let's look at some things though, for real this time. Working a column a day has been working out. It's day 3. I finished 3 columns worth of crochet. So I have the front of the head with some, I did not do surface crochet. I actually did duplicate stitch, like knitting basically on it, because my hook just did not want to cooperate with surface crochet. So I was like, I'll just sew it on. So front of the head, back of the head, and these are the eyes, I think it said. I'm only on the first round. There's more, but that's in the next column, so I stopped. I've also been doing a diamond a day on the diamond back. Don't they look so cool now that there's more diamonds? And I am 1 diamond away from the heel. So next week I'll be on the heel of this sock, which is cool because I haven't read ahead in the pattern, so I don't know what that looks like. For the tree, because I'm using mostly scrap thread for this, I finished up the white. I did end up finding some white in my roommate's mom's stash, so I decided to cut it off here and move on to a different color though. I had some light blue left over from the Sally cross stitch, and now I'm going to use this different light blue for the rest of the background. I think it'll be fine. It'll be good. It's good enough. I think it'll be cute. And I decided in the pattern, the ornaments are red and yellow. I think I decided to make them all just different shades of red. And these are supposed to be shine spots on the tree, and they're supposed to be in white, but I have silver thread that I bought to finish the Advent Christmas tree that I made for my kids, but really for me, that you will see maybe during Vlogmas. I don't know. Depends on what my Advent calendar looks like, but probably. I had it in last Vlogmas. So I have a bunch of that silver thread and nothing to do with it. So I decided to use a little bit of it there. And then because I had measured out so much of it, I needed it, or I had it on my needle. So this is my little yarn end monster. So they are completely stuffed with yarn ends, and I made the eyes, I don't know, sometime last month. Well, I made one eye sometime last month and started the second eye, but then stopped because I was pulling the white out from a different project that has multiple parts. It's actually these flowers that I had bordered in this white, that they're misfit flowers. They're made incorrectly. So I'm pulling out the white maybe, or I'm leaving them as ornaments. I haven't decided, but I had stopped working on it when I got to the end of pulling out a round on a different misfit flower. So I finished that because I had this thread on the needle. So I was like, oh, let me put the flex on these eyes and sew the eyes on. It's so funny what gives you motivation to do things. You're so cute. Thank you for holding all the yarn ends. And here she is, the springtime songbird. She's so cute. She's getting very, very close to finished. Obviously, I don't have a percentage, but there's not a lot left to her body. And then she's got a tail and feet and a shadow. So I don't know, getting really close. But again, you can see better through my camera because of color correction than I can see in person because it's very overcast here. I have been working on a couple other things, but I'll check in with you on that next check-in maybe. Actually, no, I'm going to check in with you right now. I'm really excited about something. My friend Mimi was telling me about something she had read an article about, and it's called a perpetual sketchbook. And I had this sketchbook just sitting in my cabinet of notebooks. Yes, I have one of those. It no longer has 30 notebooks in it. I have given several of them away to students and stuff, but I still have a bunch. So I have this sketchbook, and the idea of the perpetual journal is that you do a little sketch every week on the same, let me just show you. Week 1, I put the dates because I feel like that's helpful for me because that's how I want to do it. And yesterday I started dating it and writing in the weeks, and I am doing a different font for each week. Some of the fonts are similar, and I haven't dated all of it. I think I'm somewhere in May, but I don't love the way that 5 turned out, but it's okay. Some of them I like more than others. Some were just kind of like an experiment thing, but I am really excited, and the idea is to just do a little doodle once a week. The person who Mimi read the article about did like nature sketches sort of things. So my plan is I like to do pen pal things and journaling things, and I want to get better at doing quick line drawings of flowers. Like I can do basic flower line drawings, but I'd like to expand my, what is that called? Repertoire? Sure, we'll go with that. I'd like to have more that I'm able to just quickly sketch out without like thinking about it or feeling self-conscious about it. So I'm going to continue dating this through the current week. I don't know what week we're on, but yeah, I'm going to keep like writing the dates and writing the week, whatever. And my hope is to sketch in the sketchbook every Sunday-ish for the next ever, like literal ever, until the sketchbook is full of sketches. And, you know, I'm just thinking like little things So this could be a 20-year project. We all know that I'm not scared of very long-term projects. So I'm really, really excited about that. I have also been working on the I'm a Very Powerful Man Witch socks. Those are through the gusset. And I have been working on the leg warmers. They're probably like this long now. So you'll see them eventually. Hello, sunshines. It's Monday the 22nd. It is raining outside. It's lovely. It's my favorite. But it is morning time for me, and I am ready to set up my journal's to-do list so I can get that started. So let's look at that together. So this is last week's to-do list, and I did okay. Actually, I'm really pleased with what I did manage to do, because to-do lists, task lists, things like that, I feel like if I get at least 80% of it done in the time frame I want it done, it's successful. So that's not bad. And I accidentally wrote that to-do list on this week's spread first last week, and I was like, oh, well, I will leave it and just change what I need to. So I'm going to keep most of it. And I did not do a good job at stretching for 30 minutes, but I didn't not do it at all. So I did it 2 days last week. I'm going to try for 3 days this week. And if I can do 3 days this week, that will be a success for me. But I have to change a couple things, because last week I finished Grand Paloma and I finished my aunt's wrap. So now it's updated. So I want to read 40 pages of Fortunes of Jaded Women, which is this. And last week it was 50 pages of Grand Paloma. Fortunes of Jaded Women, I'm just going to quick show you. Do you see how tiny that font is? It's much smaller than the font in Grand Paloma. So I think 40 pages is fine. And half-page Praying Mantis. I also want to I was going to say 100 stitches. I guess 99 stitches on my youngest daughter's blanket, which looks like this. It's a corner to corner. And I was working on it at my boyfriend's house, but now it's too big, or I feel like it's too big. So it's at my house, and it's not really a great travel project. So I was doing 2 rows a weekend, and I did not do that this weekend. So I need to start working on it if I want it to be finished by winter time. I'm still in the increase section. I think I have like 4 more rows to go in the increase section before I'm on the working as established section. And it's got to be multiples of 3, because I don't count the chains that begin each cluster of the corner to corner. I just count the 3 stitches of each cluster, so it's got to be a multiple of 3. I also want to do 30 minutes of writing. I have some pen pals who I owe some letters to, and I need to make sure that I'm doing that. Not that my pen pals are going to be mad if it takes me a while to write back. Well, I do have a new one, so hopefully she doesn't get mad. But I do want to answer in a timely fashion. So I have one letter that I can probably finish in the 30 minutes today, because I've been writing it for a few weeks now, just here and there. But yeah, I'd like to write for 30 minutes and get those back out into the world. And I think that's a pretty good to-do list. I have space for one more thing that I can try to do every day, and that's it. And then I'm not putting things on myself like that. And we should probably check in with these 2 projects because I did not check in with you about them a couple days ago. This is the sock for my aunt who lives far away. I'm something about a man witch. Hold on. Where's the tag? It's in the bottom under the yarn. Okay. It is. I happen to be a very powerful man witch. So I am very close to the toe. About 10 rounds maybe. And then the toe for the first sock. So I would like to finish this sock today. I think that's a reasonable goal. So that's what I'll be aiming for. And then these are the leg warmers for my littlest using the Miss Babs Yowza Mini in the Charmed colorway. And here is the second one. I didn't finish the first leg warmer, but I did get pretty far on it. And that doesn't look super long, but I'm kind of working with what I have for the yarn. And it doesn't need to be super long because my daughter doesn't need her leg warmers to go over her knees. I like my leg warmers to go over my knees, but she doesn't need that. So this is that's the first one. And I stopped when I just had a little nugget of yarn left. Oh, it's over here. It's over here. Let me change hands. Okay, so I only have this much yarn left of this part of the skein. I did not split this skein intentionally. This skein just kind of had a... Did it have a tangle? I don't think it had a knot. I think I cut it because I was getting frustrated with it and I needed to untangle it. And it was probably my fault. So, or maybe like, I don't remember. I just know that I have 2 balls of this, which is fine. So now I've started the second one. I'm going to make sure I have a marker for every repeat. So I'm going to make sure that I have the same amount of repeats. And then once I get to where this leg warmer is, let's do that. Which, that's how long it is on me. My daughter is a smidgel taller than me. And I think proportionately her legs are just a little bit longer than mine. But they're definitely, like, she doesn't have calves. She's very, very coltish. Yeah, I think this will fit just fine, but I'll see how much yarn I have left. This was the bigger skein, or the bigger half, like visually. So I will work all of this yarn into this project, but I'm going to work this on I think this is actually a 10-inch circular, and I'm going to work it to the same amount of repeats. And then I'm going to put them both on a 24 or 32-inch cable and work them magic loop so that I can maximize my yarn usage. All right, sunshines. Still, what did I say today was Monday the 22nd? Still Monday. And I have 2 hours and 40 minutes left on Flowers of Essam, the audiobook that I'm reading. And I think I want to finish it today. Just no real reason. But I'm hanging out with Luxable because Andrew is at work and I'm not going to do it all in one go. But I'm thinking, that every time I bring her outside, I think I'm going to listen to my audiobook and spin on my fiber. So let's check where that is. Okay, so I have been working on this. I have been. But if I want to spin all of this by the end of the month, I've got to really be putting big chunks of time into spinning. And I know I can because ever ago, back when I lived in Kentucky, you know, that whole lifetime ago, basically, definitely a decade ago, I, at one point in time, spun 3 or 4 braids for my friend Nova, and they were 4-ounce braids, and I spun one a month while being a stay-at-home mom, which is essentially what I am on summer break, right? Like, I'm essentially a stay-at-home mom, although my kids are teenagers now, so it's less. So I can do this. It's not 4 ounces. It's like probably a half of an ounce. I can do this in the next 10 days, 9 days. How many days are in June? 30 days, half September, April, June. So 30 days. So 8 days. I have 8 days to finish this. I can do this. I just gotta focus. So the way I'm gonna focus today is Flowers of Essam. Let's see if I can do it. Let me go ahead and take a before picture so that we have a place for comparison later. Hey, sunshines. It is bedtime. And it's time to check in and wrap up this video. So I did finish the sock like I wanted to today. I also cast on the second one. It is like 1 round in, maybe not even. I don't think I finished knitting the first round because I don't like starting projects. I don't like starting components. So I cast it on. Good enough. I did not finish the Flowers of Essam. That's okay. I realized that I must have misread my time left. It was closer to 4 hours left instead of like 2.5 hours. So I did end up spinning 80 minutes today. And I feel like I made good progress on this. I'm not saying I'm going to spin 80 minutes every day this week, but maybe I am going to try to finish the Flowers of Essam actually tomorrow, because now I actually have like 2 hours and 15 minutes left in the book. So maybe tomorrow I'll spin for 2 hours and 15 minutes and we'll see how far we get. I don't know, that'll be in the next vlog because I feel like we're getting pretty far. This is getting long-ish, not long. And it is time to read The Fortunes of Jaded Women. On page 48, it finally hooked me a little bit. I'm finally like, okay, I could be interested in what's going on in this book. So I don't think I'm going to get to my 40-page effort goal today because I've only read 6 pages. And I'm probably going to get tired before I reach 40 pages. But maybe tomorrow I'll be able to reach 40 pages because now I'm interested. Thank you so much for joining me this vlog. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see what happens in the next one. I got a fuzzy in my hair. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. I really, really love talking with you. I do know that I have a comment waiting for me. Something about buddy reading. I'm very excited to read it. I just didn't have the spoons to read it today. Oh, and I did finish that letter that I said I wanted to finish today. So good job, me. All right, friends. I will see you again so soon. Bye for now.